Okay, the process of multiplying and dividing fractions are a little bit easier than adding and subtracting because, again, when we're adding, subtracting in math, things have to be alike. Or multiplying and dividing, they don't. So in order to multiply fractions, you simply multiply tops and bottoms. Now what we can do, though, is if there's anything reducible, the same way that you reduce fractions, you find some number that'll divide into both top and bottom, you divide it by the top, you divide it by the bottom, and you reduce it. Well, cross-canceling is the exact same thing as reducing. Notice the 3 and the 6 here. They're both divisible by 3, so we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. And again, now I have a 5 and 1 on top. When you multiply, it gives you 5. We have a 2 and a 4 on bottom. When you multiply, it gives you 8. So you're done. Always try to reduce at the end. If you cross-cancel and reduce in the problem the way that you're supposed to, you won't have to reduce at the end. So first off, cross-canceling, a top and a bottom that are divisible by the same number. Both are divisible by 5. 5 into 5 goes 1. 5 times 3 is 15. Something that goes into 8 and 12, we know 4 will. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. Therefore, look what you have on top now, 2 and 1. Multiply tops, multiply bottoms, and you're finished. If you have mixed numbers, notice you don't have just tops and bottoms. One of the most common mistakes that you cannot do is you cannot multiply the whole numbers in the fractions. We have reasons that we can't do that, and we'll discuss those later. So what we're going to do with mixed numbers, we're going to change them both to improper fractions. The way that you do it, whatever's on bottom, multiply, then add. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, leave the bottom the same. Times, bottom times whole number is 8, add the top, gives you 9, leave the bottom the same. Rules of multiplication, a negative times a negative is always a positive, so really you can kind of cancel those out. Now we're cross-canceling. 8 and 16 are both divisible by 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 and 9 are both divisible by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Tops multiply to give you 2 times 3 is 6. The bottom 1 times 1 is 1. You can reduce that. 6 divided by 1 is 6. Final answer, positive 6. The next one, again, anytime you have mixed numbers, turn them both into improper fractions. Multiply, add. 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 is 15. Leave the bottom the same. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Leave the bottom the same. Cross-canceling. 15 and 5 are both divisible by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 and 8 are both divisible by 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Multiply the tops and bottoms together, gives you a 6 and a 1. Final answer, 6. Next up, if we can multiply fractions, we can very easily divide, because all we're going to do is we're going to multiply. In order to divide the fractions, we're going to multiply by what's called the reciprocal. We're going to take our second fraction, divided by 6/7 is the same thing as times 7/6. Flip the second fraction, multiply. Don't change anything else. Then do the exact same thing. Cross cancel, both divisible by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 and 11 will not reduce, so therefore multiply the tops. 11 times 2 on bottom is 22, and you're finished. To divide two fractions, leave the first the same and multiply by the flip. Multiply by what's called the reciprocal, or the multiplicative inverse. 2 and 6 reduces. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Nothing else will reduce. You cannot reduce these. They have to be a top and a bottom, not a top and a top. 3 times 3 is 9. On bottom, 13 times 1 is 13. We're finished. And then finally, again, division of mixed numbers. Do the exact same thing. Change them both to improper. Now let's do something first. Let's take care of the positive, negative stuff. The rule for positives, negatives when you're dividing is a negative divided by a positive. If the signs are different, your answer is going to be negative. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's change 5 and 3/5, multiply, add. That's going to be 28 over 5. I'm going to leave it divided by right now. 10 times 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Now to divide, we're going to flip and multiply. 28 over 5 times 10 over 13. Again, reminder, our answer is going to be negative up here. Don't forget about it. 5 and 10 reduces. They're both divisible by 5. 5 times 1 and 5 times 2. 28 and 13 are not reducible. Multiply the tops gives you a 56. Multiply the bottoms gives you a 13. Now, 13 into 56, it's a little tricky. You can use your calculator if you need some help with this. But 13 times 4 is 52. So let's, 13 into 56 will go 4 times. 4 times 13 is 52. When you subtract those, it's going to give you 4. Take your remainder and write it over what you're dividing by. And since I have my negative up here, you can put the answer here, or negative 4 and 4/13. There's your answer. Okay, last one. I wrote this problem the way I did just to remind you that this bar right here still means divided by. So this is 3 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and change these as we write them down. 3 1/8, you multiply, add. 24 and 1 is 25 over 8, divided by. The bottom, 16 times 1 is 16, plus 9 is 25 over 16. To divide two fractions, flip the second one, and change division to multiplication. And this one's going to clean up nicely. 25 and 25 are both divisible by 25. 25 times 1 and 25 times 1. 8 and 16 are both divisible by 8. 8 times 1 and 8 times 2. On top you have 1 times 2, which is 2. On bottom you have 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 divided by 1. Final answer is 2. It was a positive divided by positive, so that answer of positive 2 is correct.